15-minute race here for Eibach GLTC. Race number 3. Eric Magnussen, Eric Catil share the front row. They will get the green flag at the later flag stand to give the field time to organize. And tense moments here. Hold your breath, folks. Time to go racing with the grassroots grit of Eibach GLTC. We're underway. Ayrton Grimm gets a shot from behind, but he's got trouble. He's going to pull off to the inside. Something has gone wrong with Ayrton Grimm's number 2 car. He gets out of the way. Catil trying to wrestle the lead from Eric Magnussen.
Great awareness from Ayrton Grimm, but Eric got that lead that he wanted into turn 2, and let's see if he can maintain it into turn 3.
That's heartbreak for Ayrton Grimm, just jumping straight out of the rush car, trying to make some magic happen from the second row, but he will not do it. Catil still alongside Magnussen, but can he win this drag race? It's going to be tough with the LS under the hood of that BMW.
Yeah, it looks like he couldn't break overlap with Magnussen, and he lost that advantage heading into turn 5.
Well, he's been hounding Eric Magnussen in Sector 3 all day long. That's where the transient high-speed cornering, that's where that lightweight Honda Civic is so good. They're still door-to-door through the entire field through 5 and 6 right now. Tight squeeze over there where the track gets narrow. But Magnussen trying to go 3 for 3 this weekend.
Yeah, and Matt Walbaum is really hounding Eric Catil there, which is a welcome sight for Matan Rosenberg right behind them. Any separation between Catil and Rosenberg is going to have an impact on the championship.
Look at Matt Walbaum in 3rd place. He hasn't run quite this high in a running order in a long time. They found that after this car had an accident last year, they found that there was a bent shock. They went through this entire car, transplanted everything to a different chassis, but they didn't go through every part. They found that the shock was bent. Once they fixed it, Matt said, man, I've been missing something out for the last year or 2. Here comes Rosenberg, though, to try to steal that podium spot away.
Yeah, Walbaum going defensive, breaks a little bit earlier than Matan. Matan tries to stick around the outside. Walbaum's going to try and, he almost understeered into Matan, but great job avoiding contact there.
Yeah, great pass there by Matan Rosenberg. Magnussen leads the first lap, then Catil, Rosenberg, Walbaum, Marchev, your top 5. And a little deeper in the field, there's some dust kicking up in turn 1. There's a lot of cars trying to find their way around Ayrton Grimm. Last time around, again, heartbreak for Ayrton. Again, that was a strong starting position. Here comes a little Shukla to the inside of Carlos Mendez, chasing Jackie Ding in the A86.
Yeah, it looks like he's found himself a couple spots on his first lap, and he's going to try and keep moving up the field. He got disqualified from the top 15 due to contact, so he's making his way back to where his pace is representative.
Yeah, and he's going to make this pass on Mendez, but Mendez trying to keep the nose in there. Turn 4 isn't really much of a corner, but if you can keep overlap here, it sets you up well for the inside at turn 5, but he has to give in.
Yeah, absolutely. And in these cars, it's an easy flat, so it's not a lot to ask for a room on the inside to leave your competitor's room there.
Yeah, this is Shukla is going to maybe win the battle. Will he win the war, though? A little bit more side-by-side, deeper in the field. Ayrton Grimm, is he back rolled? That was actually the GR86. Off track. Azimuth Muhammad goes for a ride through the dirt at the exit of turn 6.
Yeah, he was trying to stick it around the outside of Dine Wen, and he couldn't make it stick, and he has to ditch onto the outside of the 6th exit.
Gets back on course. Lena Chin, new livery on the car this year. Andy Smedegard chasing her down for position. And Lena had some issues in the race earlier today, so she's trying to get her position shuffled back forward. There was some overheating issues that caused a power loss, so she had to short shift to avoid that, but hopefully that's sorted.
Yeah, and she's right behind her is Andy Smedgard, who himself has had some cooling issues in his car. So she lost. She stayed in 11th, so she's managed to maintain her position. It looks like Robert Thorne rejoins the track from an off in turn 11. Let's see if Lena Chin can take advantage of it and pass him down the front straightaway.
Shows you how important momentum is. Off in the gravel just a little bit. He's going to lose 2, 3, 4 spots. On the outside, though, Joel Morrison going to try to capitalize on it. Had a fender in there, but can't keep it into turn 2.
Man, there's so much dirt in turn 1. You see them kicking up dirt on the entry and exit all the way through turn 1. I'm sure that plays into your mindset trying to make a pass there.
And Eric Catil has lost touch with Magnussen, but Matan Rosenberg closing back in. And the perpetual fight between these two continues. You want a perpetual motion machine, just look at the passing between these two over the last year and a half.
Yeah, if you could find a way to harness the energy from those two continuing to pass each other, we'd have limitless energy. We'd solve the world energy crisis.
We certainly would. And just over, how many clips can you put on Instagram of these two battling for position just over and over and over again? And you go, I thought we already saw that clip. Nope, it's a different new one this time.
Yep, the fight between David and Goliath, Civic versus Corvette.
I love Michael Pagano's 155. It's that orange and blue 116i Japanese market BMW, right-hand drive, very unique car, chasing Zach Lavoie's E46 and running from Chat Troops K-Power sponsored E36.
Yeah, and Chan DeRoe is leading that pack there. Let's see, he's right behind Sam Scott there, so he's moved up even more positions into the teens.
Joe Tulo, E30 BMW, running from an E46. That's Kyle Hale, new livery on his car as well. Side by side, big lunge on the brakes.
Yeah, Kyle Hell in that much heavier E46 M3 with the wide body on it. Now he's going to take advantage of his power down that back straightaway and heading into turn 11.
Yeah, again, too low. You see that car is a little bit less aerodynamic too, so that's going to be fighting the air a bit more. It's definitely smaller though than the 222, but Kyle Hale will take the spot, and that's for 30th position.
Yeah, he decides to back out of it in the braking zone. Lets Kyle Hale through. As we look through the start finish, that's Lathrop in that E90, and now we look at Mendez alongside that Civic here.
It's Jack Wishmeyer all the way from California. Long trip to get out here, battling with the GLTC regulars. James Cathers in the 129 is back here as well. That's for about 17th place on track.
Yeah, he's the highest of these California transplants that came and run this race. So good for him, and Mendez holds the position there for, I believe that was 17th.
Yeah,
yep.
Right. Yep. That was the gold Honda Civic, and some other battles deeper in the field, the red ND. That's Kerry James, who's had that car out a couple of times in the past. And for the lead, Eric Catil has run down Eric Magnussen, and there's plenty of time left in this race. I'm not exactly sure if Magnussen made a mistake, but last time by the stripe, only 0.6 of a second, and the Hybrid Racing EG is closing.
Yeah, Magnussen must have made some sort of mistake to let Eric back into the fold, but again, we're going to see the same dynamic play out where Magnussen has that advantage in a straight line. He's going to keep him behind him, so he better not make another mistake or Eric's going to be right there with him.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun battle to watch there, but again, we're back to the advantage for Magnussen just pulling out of that dig, leaving 10B. Catil has to find pace in different ways, but he ran him down from several seconds back. So I think that Catil's got a shot here, but he has to get creative.
Yeah, and again, he's going to rely on another mistake from Magnussen, which may not happen. He has left Matan back behind him, similar to race 2, and Matt Walbaum himself a big gap to Matan. That's followed by Tony Marchev and Dana Basinski, 5th and 6th.
I love that low shot there with the drone, giving us artwork down at turn 1. Jackie Ding running from Shukla. Here's Smedegard versus Thorne versus Lena Chin, all the cars out of the SM stable. And Joel Morrison chasing in a similar S2000. That's a J-Series car, actually. Honda V6 under the hood of that bright green S2, chasing the trio of, well, I was going to say K-powered S2000s, but Smedgard's in an FA24 powered
Used to
FRS.
be K. That FRS used to be K-powered, and now it is FA24. But yeah, Lena's doing a great job of keeping them behind him and holding on to that top 10 spot.
Yeah, good stuff here. A couple of C5 Corvettes. Gary Wimble, Eric Meadows. That's for 7th place on the racetrack.
It's hard to tell them apart. They're both black Corvettes. One does have a silver stripe, though, between 3 and 1. We got a spinner here, that 944, turn 11.
And turn 11, just looped it, and he'll get back rolling. I don't think there was any contact or anything, but off and away he goes.
Yeah, great to see. And yeah, we're seeing Meadows try and chase down Wimble here for that 7th spot. And then Dana Basinski has a pretty strong hold on that 6th spot. Eric
Catil again fighting an uphill battle. You can watch his videos on his YouTube channel where he's always just waving goodbye on the straightaways, but that's not the mousetrap he built. He built a car that excels at cornering and at braking. And again, he's got time left on the board. He just has to figure out how to break through the defense of an LS.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a totally different formula. You can see that everything that his car is built for, it is superior in all the corners, but he just can't make it up on the straights, and that's where all the passes happen, is down a back straightaway into a braking zone.
And into turn 1, Robert Thorne and Andy Smedegard, door to door. That's a tight squeeze into the first corner. There was almost some contact there. Smedegard keeps it jammed open with the foot in the door into turn 2.
Yeah, they're giving each other just enough room here, but they're letting Lena Chin kind of drive away here as they fight each other and compromise their times out there.
And Joel Morrison is going to smell blood in the water here, doesn't he? In the green S2000, the Myriad Motorsports on the side. This is great racing. How about the entire first sector door to door? They're going to try sector 2 as well.
Yeah, why not? Why not keep it going? Says Joel Morrison, and he's licking his chops trying to find a gap through. Let's see if he can do it. Looks like Robert Thornton wins the battle here, but we'll see if he'll win the war that is this this race 3.
Oh, he slipped on corner exit. Here comes Smedegard again with the FA24. The Subaru power plant pulls up alongside the Rainbow and Black S2000 into turn 7. They're still side by side for position.
Yeah, and you can't maintain side by side for too much longer through 7, 8, 9. I think they both know that. Andy does. He pulls back behind Robert Thorne and he catches some dirt. Robert Thorne doesn't leave him too much space.
Trouble
into
turn
8.
6. Car off track gets the GR86 of Ryan Power. I believe he's back rolling, but just looped it, and we'll see if he can find a safe place to get back on course. Waving yellows at turn 6, and you see all the grass in the grill there. There he is.
Yeah, and Robert Thorne really bulked up Andy Smedegard in the middle of 7, 8, 9, so he's opened up that gap to him down that back straightaway.
And yellow flag at turn 1 as well. Not sure what that's for.
Yeah, it looks like we're not going to get any passes into turn 1. There it is. It's the Dan Precourt in that 944 up on the inside. They should be taking that yellow flag away quickly. They have. The yellow flag is now gone, and Eric is trying to stay on the outside of Magnussen. Again, he's fighting such an uphill battle. He's out driving him in the corners, but he just cannot compete with the power down the straightaways.
And Matan Rosenberg unable to do much with it. It has just been these three in this order all weekend long. They have battled amongst themselves, but it seems like it's like the different densities of cars are filtering out. But into turns 5 and 6, again, we've still got some racing left to go. Oh, man, there's all sorts of racing back here. Look at this.
Yeah, Andy Smedegard and Robert Thorne are still side by side. Down the back straight, I thought Joel Morrison was challenging Smedegard in the FRS, and he just couldn't get it done. Well, let's see what happens here.
Oh, he's going to over-under him. He tried to, but Robert Thorne kept it tucked to the inside. Oh, that was very clever driving there by Thorne to sense that, but he slipped again on corner exit. He's struggling with rear grip, leaving turns. And look at Catil for the lead. He's trying everything he can to get by the 330, but just can't poke a hole in it.
He just executes 7, 8, 9 so much better. You can see he's trying to take this wide line, set up as much as he can for this back straight, but it's just so difficult to do. He's doing a really great job staying on to Magnussen's rear bumper.
I know it's really easy to look at this M3 and say, well, you know, he's just making this look easy because he's got the power, but Eric Magnussen has not made a single mistake this weekend. Any mistake, he loses this race. He has been perfect.
Absolutely. Eric Magnussen has driven a fantastic weekend so far, and Catil too, but Catil's made just a little bit more mistakes than Magnussen has as we get the white flag. This is the last lap of race 3.
Into turn 1 now, Eric Magnussen trying to hold back Eric Catil. Catil's needing to find 7/10 and a pass. That's a tall order, but he has found so much speed in the first and second sector. And just a little Honda that could, man.
And Matan has cut them up as well. Walbaum has been left behind into the clutches of Tony Marchev. They're only separated by 1/10 of a second, so they were side by side into turn 1.
Yeah, great battles everywhere on the racetrack. You wish you could watch them all. There's Walbaum again on defense, just in the background of the shot, leaving turn 4.
Yeah, and looks like Dana Pasinski's trying to join that fight into right behind Tony Marchev. We'll see if he can make it one.
Yeah, but Catil is running out of opportunity. He has been denied victory twice here this weekend to that gold BMW. Remember that Magnussen had never won an Eibach GLTC race. He's got 2 to his name so far. He's about to tie for second for the most wins on the season, which would match Eric Catil's 3 that he got back at Carolina Motorsports Park.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have a 3-way fight here for the championship. Magnussen has done a faultless race. We can say all we want about the straight line advantage, but he's driving that car as well as he needs to in the turns, and Matan Rosenberg is trying to make it a fight for that second place spot.
Again, he's going to lose this drag race, but Catil is not giving up. Nose to tail with V8s, sandwiching the 4-cylinder of Eric Catil. He can't do anything about it. Goes on defense here from Rosenberg. I don't think Rosenberg will have a look, but Eric Magnussen, for the 3rd time, driving a perfect race. Now, no slip, no falters, no nothing. He comes out 3rd checkered flag of his career in the same weekend, wins Eibach GLTC race number 3. Catil and Rosenberg, 2nd and 3rd by 2/10.
Matan making it less than a car length between the two. Matt Walbaum comes in 4th place. Tony Marchev right behind him. Dana Basinski in 6th, and Eric Meadows in 7th.
Oh, look at this. Here comes drag race to the line. Lita Chin's going to lose it to Thorne right at the end. Thorne grabs 9th, steals it from Chin right at the end.
Yeah, and we saw Jackie Ding there coming in to finish in 12th, I think. Looks like, Wimble had some sort of problem. He dropped all the way down into 16th.
Wow, what a battle there. Kerry James, Kyle Hale across the stripe. Clayton Fitzpatrick, Lewis Chattroop, Joe Tulo. Man, these two. I'll bet you Eric Catil's frustrated right now, but look, you have to look at the battles they have had. That 330, you have to wonder, I mean, again, Rosenberg's car is another barometer to look at, but the 330 accelerates so well, but
Yeah.
it's giving up so much everywhere else. After 15 minutes of racing, of green flag racing, 7/10 apart.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, you can say what you want about Magnussen, about having a straight line advantage, but he's driving that car as good as it can be driven in the corners, and he's just setting himself up to succeed in the straightaway. So all credit to Magnussen on how well he's driving that car through the technical parts of GingerMan to take advantage of this honestly, the fewer straightaways that GingerMan has versus other cars. And
let's have a look at race results here for Eibach GLTC. Race number 3, and again, we had a couple little small things here and there, but I think we kept it green the entire time. Eric Magnussen wins his 3rd race of the weekend. Eric Kittil, Matan Rosenberg in 3rd place. That is the same podium we've had all weekend long. Matt Waldbaum and Tony Marchev, 4th and 5th. Good battle there. Dana Basinski in 6th. Eric Meadows and Blake Korth, a career best in his young career. First weekend for the number 614. And Robert Thorne picks the pocket there of Lena Chin right at the end, Nito.
Yeah, absolutely. And in 11th, we had Andy Smedgaard, who was fighting with them for that top 10. Joel Morrison in 12th. Jackie Deing, a solid race in 13th. Salil Shukla finding another 6 spots into 14th. Eric De La Riva in 15th. Gary Wimble, who lost some spots in the last couple laps, in 16th. Jack Wishmeyer in 17th. Carlos Mendez in 18th. Jim Smith in 19th. And James Cathers in 20th.
Yeah, looking down the rest of the order here, you see Sam Scott 21st. Notables here, Kerry James and Kyle Hale. That must have been a fun battle to watch for a bit. We saw the E46 of Hale and the E36 of Chatroop go at it. Peter Zhang up from last to 29th. Good spot, good run there.
Yeah, and in 31st, we have Jonathan Lugod. In 32nd, Natalie Lato's Azimuth Muhammad in 33rd, who had that moment on the exit of 6. Seth Gale in 34th. Chandler Rowe didn't finish. Neither did Thomas Lather, Brian Power, Dan Precourt, or Ayrton Grimm.
Yeah, heartbreak for Ayrton Grimm there in the number 2. Again, qualified 3rd with that knockout pursuit, but was unable to capitalize on it with a mechanical issue at the start of the race. That'll be a frustrating way to end. But man, that was fun. Let's have a look back at some of the moments here from Eibach GLTC Race 3. Started with a run between Kittil and Magnussen. This was as close as Kittil got to getting the lead away from that 330 BMW, and from there on out, it was a battle for 3rd. Matt Waldbaum had it early, that DCT swap S2000, but gave it up on the outside of 11 to Rosenberg.
Yeah, and Kittil executed perfectly on his pre-race plan. He just couldn't get it done, unfortunately.
Yeah, there see Azimuth Muhammad going for a ride at the exit of turn 6. Then it was Andy Smedegard versus his team cars for basically the rest of the race, chasing Lena Chin in her brand new liveried S2000. Marchev, Basinski, Wimble, nose to tail, S2000 BRZ Corvette.
Yeah, and there's the move between Tulo and Kyle Hale. As Tulo backs out of it into turn 11, Kyle Hale gets the position.
Yeah, great battle here from the front runners. The top 3 continued to close. And then there was this, Smedegard versus Thorne. Forever, it felt like.
Yep.
And just look at this big slide there by the 80, and Andy tried to jam it up the inside, couldn't quite do it. And Kittil using those rub blocks underneath the splitter to charge up the inside. What a great battle that was, and Kittil tried to do something with it, but again, this 330 is just a lightning in a straight line, picks up his 3rd win of the weekend.